Hi, I'm Emily Hawthorne, a Stratfor Middle East and North Africa analyst at RANE. This podcast is brought to you by RANE Worldview, powered by Stratfor, the premier digital publication for objective geopolitical intelligence and analysis. Learn more at worldview.stratfor.com.
You are listening to the Essential Geopolitics podcast from RANE. I'm Emily Donahue. Not too long ago, U.S. diplomats in Uganda were hacked, on their phones, with spyware developed by the Israeli firm NSO Group. What does that mean, and more importantly, what does that portend? Here with answers is Charles Thorson, Global Security Analyst at RANE. Welcome to the podcast, Charles.
Hello, Emily. Thank you for welcoming me.
I need help with the basics. What was this spyware?
Well, it's unclear precisely what the spyware was. It appears to be a type of spyware sold by NSO Group. Media speculation indicates it could be Pegasus, which has been used in several other instances of cell phone hacking and cell phone compromise of cell phones, particularly of reporters and geopolitical activists around the world. This one was used to attack U.S. diplomats specifically to gain information about Uganda.
So, Charles, what is signals intelligence?
Signals intelligence includes a wide array of tools, including hacking and cyber espionage, as we've seen. It also includes monitoring radio waves using a wide variety of tools like aircraft. It can also include satellites, use of satellites to monitor developments around the world. And increasingly, this technology has become more available to smaller countries and medium-sized countries. The costs of entry have decreased substantially to such tools.
And how have smaller countries like Uganda been expanding their capabilities?
So small states have been expanding their capabilities recently, especially in terms of cyber tools, in how they develop their signals intelligence capabilities. So countries like Uganda, the United Arab Emirates have been buying technology like Pegasus, while they've also been expanding their fleets of surveillance aircraft and other surveillance tools, ostensibly to fight as part of counterterrorism efforts. So these countries have faced significant counterterrorism threats, and thus they have resorted to purchasing more intelligence gathering tools.
Why did these small country states like Uganda invest in these capabilities?
Well, as I said, it started as a counterterrorism concern, but also these countries face significant internal security threats. So they consider activism and other kinds of anti-government activity to be a security threat, and so that's also driven the growth in the demand for such technologies.
How have they been using them, and what are the implications when people are considering traveling to these countries?
Well, initially they were using them to for their intended purposes, whether that was counterterrorism or using them against regime critics. But increasingly, they're using them as means to gather information that they deem vital to their national security. So, in the case of Uganda, as we alluded to, it was likely Uganda that collected information about U.S. Diplomatic efforts in Uganda, and so slowly these smaller states are transitioning away from using these tools for counterterrorism purposes and more towards run-of-the-mill espionage. What this means for travelers going overseas is that they can no longer assume that just because they're in a small, less powerful country that they aren't under surveillance. So the surveillance threat isn't limited to larger states anymore, like in Russia, China, or North Korea.
Charles Thorson is a global security analyst with RANE, the Risk Assistant Network and Exchange. If you want to know what kind of threats are coming down the pike before they arrive, subscribe to RANE Worldview. For 20 years, we've delivered essential and actionable content for serious people who seek intelligence, not headlines. You want to know more than what just happened? Worldview provides the what happens next. We help you stay ahead of the news and your competition. Subscribe today at strat4.com. That's strat4.com. I'm Emily Donahue. Thanks for listening.